Yeah, I also wanted to come back and say, because what in one of my other earlier videos, I don't know if that was even uploaded. I don't know. But in case it was, I don't even go back and check these videos, man. I really don't. Like, I don't even really watch these things anymore. I don't. I just make them. I upload them. Excuse me. Let me get some water. Yeah. Forget about it. Wait. Yeah. When I was talking about the whole 2016 where people have the mentality, people like to think that, like everybody has their own personal hater, everybody has that person that's out to get them. And I said, you know what, there are haters out there, but most of us don't have them. I think it's pretty safe to say that 90% of us on 90 something percent of us on earth just really don't have a hater. But, myself, I have two, but one of them I said it was my parents. I don't come on here and air out dirty laundry at all. Like I don't get too personal, But and if I do get a little personal, well, it's my business. So and I don't know you, you don't know me, so whatever. But I'm not gonna get too personal here, but I will say that somebody might say, well, how could a parent hate on their kid? Well, um, my dad, kind of cheated on my mom with this woman. My stepmom, she turned out to be a really cool person, actually. I mean, I have no problem with my stepmom. I really don't. But he cheated, nonetheless. He cheated on my mom, and just caused a lot of problems, like within the family. Um, um, so then that happened, and then my parents got divorced, and um, then naturally he just kind of went to and married my was soon to be my stepmother. And then my mother was just basically doing what she did. Um, you know, but then like I lived in the north part of my city at the time. I'm not going to sit here and specify where I live, whatever. Um, but I mean I think I've already mentioned in my other videos, but who cares? Um, so he cheated on my stepmom. Like mind you, he cheated on my mom with my stepmom, and then he cheated on my stepmom with my best friend's mother at the time. Um, so I even still to this day I don't get down with that, man. I mean if you're married to somebody, like come on, man, like seriously, like just be loyal. I know everybody has their weaknesses in life, and whatever, maybe that's his weakness. A lot of people have that weakness, so I'm not condemning him for his weaknesses because I have my weaknesses. I was never married, but in other aspects of life we all have our weaknesses. But nonetheless, that happened, and he kind of went from my mom to my stepmom to whatever, and kind of really from that point on things just got really really weird with my friend. And he was my friend like 100%, like we were always together. He was like my best friend, and that happened. So things just got weird from that point on, and so I mean, I didn't have, even at that point, I wasn't even like mad at my father. I'm not even mad at my father that happened today at all, like really. But just out of consideration for my stepmother, because I don't like to see people get taken advantage of. And he was like really, like he did all this, and it was a mistake. And I think that he was just in a tough position, and sometimes we're not, we do things that we really don't want to do. But whatever, the thing is that it happened, and instead of coming forth and being honest about it, time went on and on and on, and nothing was being said that I was aware of. So being the fact that he kind of did this to my mother with my stepmother, and then did my stepmother like he did my, and it was just like it had to end somewhere. And I wasn't trying to cause problems. I was just trying to really like step up to the plate and do what my father should have done. He should have paid this woman respect. you know um it doesn't matter, the people have feelings, and when you're married to somebody, like, look, I mean, I could sit here and say a lot of stuff and just get all angry and say, you know with the thing that happened with my mother. But that's the past. This is the, that was the here and now. And I didn't want to, I liked my stepmom. For all that happened, I took it for what it was. I just, kind of went with the flow, so to speak. And I didn't want to see him hurt, my stepmom too, like he hurt my mom. And, you know, so I just even I mean I've had friends who cheated on people and stuff, and it's just like I don't know, man. Like, but when you're in a marriage, that's a different story. I'm not going to sit there and just, I'm not going to go out of my way to unless I feel it's necessary, But when you're my parents, like my father, I felt as though I owed it to, and wasn't trying to like be a jerk to my father. Like this had nothing to do with I'm trying to get back on my father, not at all. I just genuinely respected the fact that my stepmother, he was married to this woman and he should have treated her better, than he treated my mother. And you know, it just had to end. So I approached my stepmother. My father, we were on a camping trip somewhere like out in the country where, I'm not from the country, never was, but we were out there for the day, just kind of like hanging out or whatever. And then he went up to go to the bathroom and go somewhere, and it was just me and my stepmom, and I just like, you know what? So I just needed my stepmom to know, and she didn't know. She did not know. It took her by surprise. Like she was like, you could tell the look on her face. Like she was like, dude, like feeling a million things at once. And I just said, hey, look, I just want to let you know that this is what happened. And so from that point on, like my dad was real cool with me up until that happened. And then once, you know, obviously my stepmom found out from me. I mean, come on, what is she gonna? I mean, how else would she find out? I mean, yeah, I had stepbrothers and stepsisters, but they weren't there. I was living with my father at the time. At this point in time, I don't even think they were really married. I think they, I think they were married. They were married, but they just weren't living together for some reason. I don't know why. But he was still living with me at the time or whatever. I'm pretty sure they were married at the time because, when all this happened, they got married fairly quick. I don't know, man. I was like 10 years old. Who knows? I'm pretty sure that they were married. If they weren't married at the time, it was pretty much like really, really, really close enough to it to where, dude, like you should have respect for the woman. Like I can sit here and get all angry and say, well, she deserved it. I mean, maybe, but you know what? That you're still talking about somebody's feelings. I don't wish anything bad upon anybody. Behavior wise, people need to be put in check. And that's what I was just trying to do. I was just trying to, put him in check by telling my stepmom, like, this got to stop. Someone's got to draw the line. This dude is just, out here. Come on, man. And I'm not even about all that. So, you're married to this woman, maybe it might take a couple months or a little while to just man up and try and kind of get the courage. But if you really love somebody, you're gonna tell them the truth. And if they break up with you, well, then they do. But you know what? When you love somebody, you want them to be happy with or without you. And if you made a mistake and they love you enough to give you a second chance, then they do. And if they don't, well, you made your bed, so now you got to lie in it. That's what love is all about. Love isn't just about making a mistake and then hiding it. When you love somebody, it might take a while. It might take a while. You might have to get that courage. But if you really love the person, you're going to set your selfish, fear or whatever you want to call it aside, and you're going to say, hey, look, I'm not telling you this because for any other reason but the fact that I love you. And that's honesty. That's what love is. Be honest with that person. If you can't be honest with somebody, you don't love them. I don't care if they're your kid or your friend or your mother or your father or whoever. I'm not sitting here saying I've never told a lie, because that's a lie all in itself, okay? And I'm not condoning any kind of lie, even a white lie. But, especially when somebody's married, come on, man. I just felt as though somebody had to tell this woman, so that's what I did. And from that point on, things got really, really weird between him. And he put me in positions and said things about me that just never should have happened. And I don't look, I mean, he's said things like I didn't even really know he said until years down the road. And some things I just was going through some things that were just like, I don't know, it's really hard to explain. But let's just say that after I told my stepmom, something in him just like blew up, and he just like really was out to get me, dude. And you know, I guess he trusted me so much because me and him were so cool before that, and I guess he felt as though like he had this bros before you know what mentality. Like it was just like I don't know. I'm not even saying he's that type of dude. I'm not even saying that at all. Like if you meet the dude, you won't think that about him at all. But it doesn't matter because appearance has nothing to do. Actions is what speaks. So, you know, we all do things we don't mean to do. But look, man, he did that to my mom. Then he married my stepmom, and then he did it to my like that. It wasn't a mistake at that point, you know, and it wasn't a mistake with my mother either, you know. So I wasn't even harboring any kind of anger, like resentment. I wasn't trying to get back at him or anything. I was just trying to, you know, be upfront with the woman, my stepmother, because somebody had to, and he wasn't about to do it. I don't think he was, anyways. I mean, time went on, and it was nothing. Nothing was even. I could tell nothing was said because it was just normal every day, and I just couldn't. I couldn't look at her anymore, knowing what I knew. I just couldn't do it. So when I, you know, I saw the opportunity. I took hold of it, and from that point on, just things just got really, really strange between me and him. Really, really strange. Like I found myself in situations that I don't even know how I got into. Things were said that were just so off the wall, bonkers, crazy, ludicrous, all of the above. Like, dude, like it just got so strange from there. And I was, you know, like I said, so in a nutshell, I'm not going to get into whatever details, but, you know, it all stemmed from something simple, him making a mistake or whatever you want to call it, and me just trying to love my stepmom, tell you the truth. I mean, she's not my mother, but I wasn't going to sit there and let her be played out like he played my mom out. My mom was left hurt, you know, and I wasn't going to let some other woman be left hurt, even if she's not my mom. So what? You're married to somebody. If you're not going to be loyal, then stay single. But don't go around this world hurting people because that's not cool.